Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Kool Collectibles. Today I'm not going to go through a toy review, but more of a modification that I'm planning on doing to replace the knee joints on Takara MP-9B Black Rodimus with these new die-cast metal knee joints. So if you follow Transformers, or Masterpiece Transformers, and remember when I first got mine, as soon as I bent these knees, they pretty much crumbled in my hands and broke the knees off. So I contacted the retailer I got these off, Robot Kingdom, and they were well aware of the issue at the time and sent me replacement joints pretty much straight away. So that's how mine has looked like this pretty much since I received it, because I haven't dared bend these knees again. Even when I replaced them with the new ones, as soon as I gently tried to bend them, I could see almost a little hairline fractures in the knee joints occurring. So I've never actually moved him out of this sort of position since that time. But recently, Robot Kingdom listed these die-cast, if I just get him out of the way, these die-cast joints made by a company called X2 Toys, I think. So these are die-cast metal and are designed to replace those aqua joints on MP-9B. So I'm hoping, I haven't actually tried this yet, I'm hoping that they are a perfect fit, and I'm hoping that's the case if they made them specifically for that. And I guess they aren't painted. They are, I don't know if die-cast metal always comes chromed. I don't think they do, but these are chromed. And if you just sort of have a look, the ratchet joint is there. Just zoom in. So the ratcheting part there, and there's a ratcheting part up there as well, and that's where the breakages were happening. So this particular piece, I think it sits like that. No, the other way, like this, I believe. So once that's in place, it's going to look like that. And I guess with the chrome pieces here and the chrome on his arms and so on, I'm thinking that he's actually going to look pretty good with chromed knee joints. So I had to do the disassembly once before to put in the replacements, so I just have to follow that process again. So it does get a little bit tricky in that the first thing you need to do is unscrew these to take off the thigh part, but unfortunately that doesn't give you full access to the knee joint. So as you can see, the knee joint itself has this bottom screw. So you have to effectively disassemble this whole lower leg just to replace this knee joint. So the first time I did it, it wasn't too bad, so you just need to be careful. But I'll try and do each part and show you guys the process that I'm going through. So I'll just pause for a second and get started. Alright, so I've just used this screwdriver to loosen one of those joints, screws, and one of those screws on this leg. And once you do that, all you effectively do is pull this panel off, and that reveals the inner thigh. So if I just zoom in here, you'll see that's the joint right there, and you can essentially pull this whole lower leg off. And I think some of the issues were that contributed to the breakages were that the peg that you see here is actually covered in a little bit of paint, and it's stuck to the inner circle of this ratchet joint here. And so when you tried to move it, it wouldn't move very well. So if you look here, you can probably even see the little hairline fracture just about to happen if I move that. So I'm not sure if you can see that. I can see it on the camera there. So I just know that if I try to move that whole knee joint's going to shatter. So you effectively pull that off and then start disassembling this to get access to that knee joint. So I'll just go on to the next step. Alright, so once you take that panel off, you can effectively lift this whole lower leg off of that pin, and I've just put the die-cast joint on just as a test up front, and it does seem to work fairly well. So you can see here that the ratcheting here along the teeth there, there doesn't seem to be any risk of this thing breaking or anything like that. So Either way, I'm not going to be transforming this thing too many times, but I'm definitely glad that it can have this range of motion without me worrying too much about anything breaking along there. And it does seem to fit on to that peg fairly nicely, so there's no sort of restriction in movement against the die-cast metal there. So I'll start disassembling this lower leg and give you guys a look at that. Alright, so I've removed the screws now. So there are 4 screws you need to remove. One at the bottom of the knee joint there, one here holding that panel, and those 2 there. And all the screws are the same length, so all you need to do is pretty much just do it carefully. Get a proper small elongated screwdriver that correctly fits the screw head, and try not to strip any of the screws. But once you have all of that done, I think everything just sort of disassembles slightly. I think you can then take this panel off, like so, at the front there, which then gives you access to this panel. Let me see if I can disassemble all of this. Why is that stuck in place? So let me scroll down a little bit. So you can sort of see it splitting apart there. So it might be a little bit difficult for me to try and do this on camera. So I'll just do this carefully off camera and get back to you and show you what I've done. Right, I just realized what I forgot to do is that once you take this panel off, there's one internal screw right there, and I don't think that screw you need to take off, but this screw holding this panel in place, you need to unscrew that as well. Then you can take this panel off and then take that off. So I'll just do that and get back to you guys. Alright, so with that screw off, you can essentially take this whole piece off, and I'll try and keep that all as one piece. And so you can see how all of these things sort of hang off together. So try not to disturb that as much as you can. Don't try and take anything else off. And you can see the knee joint is accessible right there. So I'll take that off. So you can see there, and there is this little spring there. So make sure not to lose that at the top there. And that's the knee joint. So you pretty much just grab your die-cast joint, place it back on, and slip it back on to the other side. So I'll get onto that in a second. Alright, I've put the joint in now and just screwed it in there, and you can see the teeth line up nicely with the plastic component there, and the spring pushes up against that side when you screw that in, and you then just screw that one and that one down the bottom there. Just make sure everything sort of lines up, and then all that's left to do is to put this panel on, screw it in there, that goes in there, and the bottom screw there goes right there. So I'll just do that now and give you guys a look at the articulation. Just one thing to note, when you do take the panel off and put the panel on to screw that, just make sure you move this panel out of the way. It's fairly fragile, this piece, but just make sure you push the 2 panels as tight as you can. It does get a little bit tricky. Just push it in as tight as you can to close the gap here and the gap there, and that should be pretty much it. All up it took about roughly 5 minutes to get to this point, so it's not a time-consuming mod at all, but I'll just put the outside panel back on and get back to you guys. Alright, so I've screwed the panel back in there, and that is pretty much the lower leg back again. So I'll just show you the articulation. So there it is, you can just bend it. So this is one, it's good that it's a double jointed knee essentially, but you can bend that now along that ratchet, no problems. I don't think that was ever the problem joint. So I'll connect it up now. So pretty much all you do now, as you can see here, is put that through there and just put the thigh panel back on, and we're pretty much done. So I'll just do that now. Alright, so now I've just placed the leg back on without the thigh panel on, so you can see the equivalent there, and just look at the articulation now. That is just perfect. No issue in moving that at all. So I guess the only issue you probably have to worry about in the future is with this being die-cast metal and continually moving that knee joint, whether or not that's going to wear out the little notch there for the ratchet joint. But I don't intend on doing that too many times. I'll probably just do my first ever transformation of this guy into his alt mode, take a couple of pictures and then put him back in this mode, and be done with it. So I'll just put the thigh panel back on and give you the complete look with the mod finished. Alright, so now you can see the comparison against the new leg with the knee joint and the old, and I gotta say it looks 100 times better. And not only does it look 100 times better, you can actually bend there and bend there with no issue or fear of breaking anything at all. So that is sensational. So it does actually look you know, like it was designed for a die cast or at least a chromed knee joint, so it doesn't look out of place on the figure at all. So I'm very glad I've got this mod, and thanks to X2 Toys, I guess, in Robot Kingdom for providing this particular option. And I like that it's not hollow like it is there, which really does help the look. So I'm debating now whether or not I should do the same, because I did buy 2 sets, whether or not I should do the same on the actual MP9 figure. But I guess with MP9, that whole section here, I mean that's aqua here and aqua there, with the thighs a different colour, but on MP9 that whole section is orange, and so if I do change that to the chrome look, I'm not sure if that's just going to look a little out of place, that's all. So I'll decide that after I finish this guy. I'll just do this leg and be back with you guys in a second. So I'm just doing the other leg now. I just wanted to show you guys so that you can see the fracture there already, and these were the replacement joints. So these aqua joints are extremely fragile and just terrible. So and there doesn't look to be too much paint or anything like that on this particular piece, and yet this is still factoring. So I'm not totally convinced that it's the paint issue on that particular joint, but more the fact that this piece is just extremely brittle plastic compared to the original orange one from MP9. So I'll finish it off now and give you guys a look at the completed figure. Alright, so I've completed the mod now, so as you can see, you really can't even tell that there's much of a difference, and on all sides, even from the back, that looks like you know, he always was supposed to come with die-cast metal knee joints. So the chrome here leads on beautifully to the chrome there, and the chrome on his arms as well. So a beautiful mod to do, and now you can get this full range of motion. You can bend the knee down at that point, no issues, and bend it up at this position, no issues as well. So now that I've done that, you can really get him into some really dynamic poses, and you can actually transform this sucker for the first time. So I'll definitely be doing that. I'll probably have to bring out the instruction book because I haven't done it for so long, but it'll probably be worth it to see this bad boy in his black and blue and so on alt mode, which I've never actually seen in hand. So I'll do that shortly and post up some pictures on the Facebook page and the website. So hope you guys like that rundown on how to do this mod. Sorry I couldn't show you everything, but I'm normally a pretty big klutz, and if you follow the page, you know I've pretty much got zero skill in doing any sort of mod. But this was fairly easy and stress-free, so If you've got MP-9B, or even if you've got MP-9 and you're looking for an option for making those knee joints a bit stronger, definitely head on over to Robot Kingdom and pick these up, because they're pretty awesome. They're $10 a pair, and I just ordered them with something else that I was getting, so they just packaged it in there in some a little plastic bag, and now MP-9B is good to go. So yeah, stay tuned for more reviews coming up. I've got a whole bunch of 6-scale figures in the mail coming, so stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers, bye.